I just won't start talking for a while. That is the game plan. But maybe show gets a little dull like that. Hello everybody, welcome to Banter Blitz. My name is Jan Gustafsson. Today is a rest day from the Candidates Tournament 2020. And what a tournament it's been. It's not a rest day on Chess 24. However, there's plenty of banter action. Of course, I am the main event of the day by far. But there's also Alireza Firouzja. If you want to have a chance at winning a game, you could challenge him at 6 p.m. my time, which is in around 4 hours. Sorry for the delay here. The usual fight. Jan versus technology. Even though, in this case, I take no responsibility. What's going on there, Restream? So let's do this. Challenge me to a game of 3 minutes or 5 minutes if you happen to be a Chess 24 Premium member. If you're not one, then now could be a good time to become one because you get 40% off with the voucher code Candidates 2020 at checkout. All right, without further ado, and this time it literally is without further ado, let's get this train wreck off the ground and let's drop the mic. Mic dropper, are you there? Navigator 1 is wondering how to challenge Jan. My name should be below the video. My Chess24 username is Jan, Jan. Hover over it, and then there should be like a challenge Jan thingy you can click on. Drop the mic. Did you drop the show? Small delay, and you disappear. Sad. Abort. Then who do I play? Ugh, there's so many choices, which is great. Or, I mean, it's serious times in the world. And I would guess that many people are staying at home. Maybe some are, like me, quarantined with their families. And do follow the same homeschooling routine we follow here. I saw this tweet about it, which I think went viral, which said, my homeschooling schedule for my toddler, and it was something like 8 till 10, Frozen 1, 10 till 12, Frozen 2, lunch, 1 till 3, Frozen, 3 till 5, Frozen 2, dinner, 6 till 8, Frozen, and that hit very close to home. I'm obviously a fairly terrible parent, but also with everybody being at home, I think restricting screen time a lot is gonna be a challenge. So I did purchase Frozen 2, which I've seen twice in the cinema, and believe it or not, that was not because I wanted to see it, but because my daughter wanted to see it twice, and now we own it digitally as well. So I have a feeling that I will be very familiar with Anna and Elsa and their adventures, and Atohala and Olaf and Sven when all of this is hopefully over. All right, John 1611. Wow, that's amazing. He called himself John 1611 and his rating is 1610. That is very close. It's like if I called myself Jan 3083. Even though I have to say I'm overrated because Lawrence Trent won me all that rating, which is not a joke, in the last session beating Magnus and everybody else. So I have a feeling this will quickly go down again. Mr. Dodgy is saying 8 till 12 iPad lunch, 1 till 5 iPad dinner, 6 till 8 iPad sleep. Yeah, close enough. I'm not sure if this is also a common debate that people are having, but when I say no more TV, then the natural next question is, okay, can I watch stuff on the phone or on the iPad or on the big screen above then? Like, I need a term that says, in little kids speak, no more screens, but no more TV is clearly not cutting it. Jawbreaker is saying Anna and Elsa bigger than Jan and Lawrence. I do not disagree. If there was Anna and Elsa commentating the candidates, I would be watching it. I would stop doing this show. I would say, sorry, Magnus. Anna and Elsa trump this. As for the game, I'm playing excellent chess. Knight e5, threatening knight takes c6. Made John panic a little bit. Go bishop takes c3. And after b takes c. I'm in pretty good shape. He has to castle, which he does. Kudos to him. Finish development ASAP. Because otherwise, this bishop coming to a3, stopping the king from running away, would be pretty bad news for him. Anyway, John managed to hang in there. Now, especially after this horrible move f3, things are not so clear. Because after f3 is knight d5, which, yeah, was not... What's the word I'm looking for? Smart. That was not very smart. What's going on in the chat? Let me fire up the chat. Sorry, I can't read the Twitch chat. I guess I'm not on Twitch because it's a restream thing which we're using to stream to the whole world, to Twitch, to Twitter, to YouTube, to Periscope, to Facebook. Periscope is Twitter, right? Yeah. The works. I think I'm only on YouTube. So sorry, Twitch boys. I am only reading the Chess24 chat. Blobix is saying 6 days inside. I locked my wife in the kitchen. I'm too exhausted. Well, we still have the strength to lock her in the kitchen. Seems like it's all under control, no? Tough battle here against John 1611. Who is playing extremely well? But I took a pawn. By the way, English viewers, Gruffalo, is that a thing? The Gruffalo's child? Because I've been watching and hearing that a lot in German these days. And I'm wondering, it doesn't sound like a German invention. Is it an English thing? Der Gruffalo? The Gruffalo? Bapepat Chess Mode is saying, Jan, I was watching the wrong stream. Was I aborted? I don't know. I don't think so. Let's get rid of these queens. I'm scared. John resigns? Why would you resign? I was going to play queen g5. Did you think g4 wins material, or? I don't get it. That is a premature resignation, if we've ever seen one. So, great game, John. Sorry, I don't know why you resigned. I don't know what happened there. No one has heard of the Gruffalo, it seems like. Maybe it is German stuff. Sorry, that's what my topics have come down to. Being locked up here. And since I'm also busy with the candidates, I do not find a lot of screen time. Which... As we know, I don't have other ties to the outside world than watching TV. Therefore, there is very little we can talk about other than candidates chess. How about that Ding, huh? Loses first 2 games, then gets ambushed by Fabi with some very nice looking open preparation. And what does Ding do? Sits there, thinks about it, takes the pawns, brings the king to safety, wins the game. Pretty impressive. And Mr. Dodgy is confirming, or is saying, the Gruffalo is British. I had the feeling it didn't seem like a German thing. Thank you, Mr. Dodgy. Bateman47 is saying it's a children's book and also some TV show. I'm a little addicted to the song Gruffalo. Anand MP is asking, how's your hand? My hand is fine. I have a feeling the finger should be fine by now, but the doctor told me I should wear the thing for 4 weeks. As you can see, it's kind of falling apart. I guess the doctor should have mentioned, because I take these things very literally, that I am allowed to like change it at some point. Probably I was supposed to go back there after like 2 weeks or something, but in these times that we're living in, first of all, I feel like doctors have other stuff to do. And secondly, I am doing the hashtag stay in your basement thing. Therefore, I don't know. I think I will arbitrarily wear this for another week until it falls off. And then I'm gonna assume that my finger is finding it. The Gruffalo is a children's book by writer and playwright Julia Donaldson, illustrated by Axel Scheffler. That does sound very German. Scheffler is from Hamburg. Axel, if you're watching, big fan of the Gruffalo. This position I should be familiar with. Hang on. Queen d3. I played this as a very young man against Thies Heinemann. Shout out to Thies Heinemann, also from Hamburg. Kind of. Like Axel Scheffler. And I did something stupid quickly. The game was drawn, but this line, I still believe, is somewhat better for white, as is often the case in these Marozzi structures. I quite like white's position. Knight g4 makes sense. He wants to go knight e5 with the tempo. There are two typical ways to react to this. One would be e4 to clean the e2 square for the queen. But if it's not blundering material, I would like to go b3. Just keeping the formation as it is. I'm pausing a bit because I'm trying to verify that it is not blundering material. I could not see any trick, so I'm going to assume it's not. It's the usual thing in these types of positions that white is, just quote-unquote trying to stabilize to develop his pieces. And if you manage, whatever, bishop b2, rooks to the center, the structure long-term will favor white. Therefore, black sort of has to try to make something happen quickly, like queen a5, queen h5, and checkmate me, which, by the way, looks like a very legit idea now that I think about it. Knight e5 I do not like that much. It feels a little slow. I'll go queen d2. Queen c2 I guess is fine as well, but I don't want to have to deal with bishop f5, and I don't want to put the pawn on e4 yet, so I'll go queen d2, try to play bishop b2, and then once again, if I manage to consolidate, get the pieces out, I'll just be better. Anand MP is saying, my father's in the same situation, broken hand and not going to hospital. Sorry to hear that. That sounds much more serious than mine. Because I have a fracture of the ring finger, but I was told I just have to wear this thing for 4 weeks, and now I'm, I think, 2.5 weeks in, and we'll be fine. It starts feeling fine, so all good. All the best to your father. Rook b8 played. He wants to go a6, b5. I'll go bishop b2, a6, a4, just fighting against b5. And as mentioned, white is better if I just get the pieces out. Rook d1, rook c1, c5 will become an issue. And there is also the typical long-term plan for these positions, that you could put a knight on d5 and wait for, in exchange, I'm not making my point very clear, because my point is not very clear. I'll try though. Put the knight here, and this knight is often a nuisance for black in these structures. If you take it, I'm not quite sure in this case how to recapture. I think I'm recapturing with a bishop. Once white has a pawn on e4, then e d5 is also a good idea to target this e7 pawn. That's what Dorfman taught me, or I was familiar with the concept, but Dorfman made it sound like a forced win for white. This e4, knight to d5. Have it taken, go e d5, and play against the backwards pawn on e7. But then there's the other issue that you can't really tolerate this knight forever, because it's very actively placed. If you go e6, your d6 pawn gets a little weak. Rook c8 feels like a slow move. It's tempting to play f4, I would say. Yeah. I guess he should take now. Bishop takes and knight to g4. As usual, I was hoping to just grab some pawns over there. Queen d4. Could make a case for going h3 first, but I wanted to stop bishop d5 and queen b6 check. And e5 does not bother me too much, even though it's probably what he should try. e5, and if fe, knight takes e5, he plays f6, but that looks very slow. Now, so many options. Bishop h3 looks very strong as well, but I'll keep it simple. Ask this knight to go to the rim and take a pawn. I do like pawns. Doing pawn grabbing just for the pawn grabbing here, which I shouldn't do. There should be some pleasure to your pawn intake. If it just becomes a habit and sort of robotic, then you should question some of your life choices. Therefore, here, I will not go bishop takes b7, but I'll play g4, pretend that I'm a chess grandmaster, understanding that knights should be kept on the rim. Where's Bishop is saying, Jan, can you explain to a bloody beginner? Why is this a Marozzi bind? Explain it like you talk to your 3-year-old daughter. Like, what's the name or what defines a Marozzi bind? I don't understand the question. Silly kid, learn to express yourself more clearly. How often have I told you it's auf dem Dach, not auf den Dach? Getting tired of it. It's Taschenlampe, not Laschentampe. Jesus Christ, go watch Frozen again. Sorry, but you asked me to speak to you like I speak to my daughter. Mr. Manati is in trouble now. Finally, c5 has come. Queen a7. I missed queen a7. Good move. He's playing well. Stop playing well. No one's asked you to make good moves, Mr. Manati. It's very upsetting. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for the game, sir. Yeah, as for what defines a Marozzi bind, I don't know. To my mind, it's these structures. Doesn't matter if there's a pawn on e4 or not. Where black has a pawn on d7, white has a pawn on c4. There are two types, one with a pawn on e4, one with a pawn on e2. And they're characterized by these typical plans that white wants to put a knight on d5 and either, capture and then recapture with the d-pawn or provoke weaknesses, like I expertly did in this game. Clive NG is saying, it's pronounced Man-A-T. Thanks, Clive. No, next thing he's going to tell me is it's pronounced Cleve, Angers, 37. All right. What else is going on? Bike Boy is saying, oh man, I laughed for a full minute at you yelling at your kid. Thanks, I need that. You're very welcome. I need yelling at my kid too. You know, it's just stress relief. Let's play Chess Flow. A lot of new faces here today. Is our relentless marketing during the candidates working? What's going on there? Or is it just hashtag stay at home, nothing to do? Might as well watch some chess videos. Knight f3. Okay, I promise I'll play less boringly. Next game, not this game. Wow, Galactic, Jan won e4lessly. That's funny. e5? I'll take it. What are you doing? Stop giving me pawns. What's wrong with you, Chess Flow? Not complaining, just asking. I couldn't decide if knight f3 or knight takes c6. They both look good. But this just looks excellent. Extra pawn, g3, bishop g2 will hit c6. So, yeah, e5, not a great move there. And he's saying, I play one time live and I mouse slip on the second move. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You want to play e6. I would have been less harsh had I known it's a mouse slip. Not a lot less harsh, but slightly. Nice Guy Sly is saying, hashtag pretend to be working from home. That's, honestly, I'm a little upset about that. Because I'm no stranger to pretending to be working from home. But at the time where everybody is saying, okay, I'm at home, I have nothing to do, I can binge watch all these series that I want to binge watch. Actually, I don't like where this joke is going, because, full disclosure, I'm very, very grateful at these tough times that I'm doing what I'm doing, that I can work from home. I have the studio in the basement. So other than, yeah, losing my money on the stock market, which is really my own problem, we are all aware of the risks of stocks, I am not very affected by this coronavirus crisis. And from what you read out there, there are so many people that are suffering. I'm not good at series. I wanted to make a joke that I'm jealous of the people that can sit at home and watch all these Netflix shows, but I'm not. I'm actually grateful I have stuff to do. So ignore that last part. Back to fake yelling at my daughter. Navigator 1 is saying, Jan, any movie advices? That's what I'm saying. I don't have time to catch up with anything. By the way, I've also played this badly. You know what? Let's play it greedily. If we're going to play badly, at least we might also grab as many pawns as possible. Movie advice. What have I been watching? Did you see Jojo Rabbit? Not usually my genre, and for very obvious reason. A movie I was a bit worried about because we have such, yeah, it's not a topic. Not a topic Germans are comfortable like joking about, and it felt like there was Taika Waititi, who I think is incredibly funny, doing a tongue-in-cheek movie about a kid who is like imaginary friends with Hitler. But I thought that it was a fantastic movie, that it hit the right tone, that it was both funny and serious, and this typical brand of Taika Waititi. So I thought Jojo Rabbit was fantastic, if people haven't seen it. That's highly recommended. I thought Parasite was good, but that's been talked about endlessly. I'm more team, a little overhyped at this point. And I thought Burning from 2018, I believe, was a much better South Korean movie than Parasite. I should say every South Korean movie I've seen, and I've seen like 4 or 5, it's not like I've seen millions, but I thought was excellent. So that's a cinema that I want to check out a lot more. If you have any recommendations on South Korean movies, please let me know. All right, end of movie time. Let's take some more of Chessflow's pawns. Hey, I want to take your pawns, not you mine. CD, Rookie 2. What to do? Queen D5 I could do, but that looks a little much even for me. Maybe just E3. I like E3. If DC, E4. Crookie 1974 is asking, what about Wes Anderson movies? I could never get into them somehow. The only one I'm a fan of is what's called The Royal Tenenbaums. I think that's what it's called. That's a Wes Anderson movie, right? But the other ones I've seen, I just couldn't. Like Grand Budapest Hotel and so on. Eh. Cthulhu saying you should finish watching The Handmaiden. Yeah, that's still stuck on like 20 minutes in or something. Navigator 1 is saying, watch Parasite 2, planning to watch Joker. Yeah, I like Joker, which I'm not sure that's a very woke opinion, because from most like smart liberal critic reviews I read, pretends like it's so clever but has nothing to say. Maybe I'm not clever enough, so I liked it, but I thought it was good. F5. Do I go D5 or EF5? I guess I'll stick with the pawn-taking theme. Angus Irving is saying, Jan, check out anything directed by Park Chan-wook. What has he done? Tell me. A big movie. Sorry, I'm still weak on the names of South Korean directors other than Bong Joon-ho, who obviously got quite some exposure now. Pepter is asking, any thoughts on 1917? Yeah, I've seen that one. I don't know. I think, yeah, my opinion won't be very special. That's is what I've read in many places. Tremendous technical achievement. I was not very touched by the story. Like, obviously, I've read quite a bit about World War I and this trench warfare. It's horrible, and you get a decent impression of the claustrophobia and so on. But it felt more like watching a video game with a one-take thing. So I thought, yeah, it was beautifully done, but I would have been not upset, but mildly disappointed to have won the Oscar for Best Picture, because I did not find the story that gripping. That's 1917. Okay, we're getting closer to flagging here. Sorry, Chessflow, who was, of course, impeded by blundering a pawn, or by mouse slipping on move number 2. Thanks for the game, Chessflow. Drawbreaker says 100% agree on 1917. There you go. Let's play Der Knipser, Candidate Master. Angus Irvin saying Old Boy. Of course I've seen Old Boy. Yeah, Old Boy is a fantastic movie. That opening fight sequence, still the best fight sequence I've ever seen. And I've watched The Raid and The Raid 2. Alright, I'll stop talking about movies and focus on this game for once. Der Knipser is playing knight of 3, f5. Most theoreticians like to go d3 followed by e4 here, but I'm more comfortable playing these c4, g3 setups, after which it's kind of tough going for the stone wall with black, because I have not committed to d4 yet. And if black plays a stone wall, as he does, anyway, in this formation, where white doesn't have a pawn on d4 yet, then white can try to break in the center with pawn to e4, which is not winning, but it's a nasty line for black. I spent some time checking this at some point, and I thought it was pretty pleasant for white. As for the pure stone wall, of course I should mention that Magnus has a new series out. I don't like plugging that too much, because I hate putting a pawn on f5 so much. But it is a Magnus series. He has beaten Fabi and Vichy playing the stone wall with black. And he's pretty good at, you know, chess and explaining what goes where in the stone wall. So you might want to check that out if you're a pre-member. Still. Ugh. So I played this e4, which is the benefit of not having played d4. You can go for this d3, e4 plan. I think it's very unpleasant, Knipser. Do you agree? He can take twice, but then I'll go knight g5 or something, regain the pawn. Black will have a fairly rotten structure. And castles, I go e5 and I win a piece, no? That escalated quickly. Hegel is saying, Korean movie, The Divine Move. Let me write that down because I'll forget. The Divine Move. Done. e5, d4, but that is not helping, is it? I'll take the bishop. Bishop f4 is also useful. Little tempo. And yeah, this is of course resignable. Knight e2, knight a4. Okay, it's all pretty good, is it not? Maybe knight a4, even though knight on the rim. No, there's no real need to mess around. I'm just trying to undermine this construction ASAP. Istria Bittelj, sorry I bungled that, 97 is asking, is candidate's offer going well? I have no idea about the biz numbers. I did hear that we have pretty good viewership, at least for our standards. And the feedback for the show was pretty good. I'm having a lot of fun, as always. Such an honor, first of all, to have Magnus Carlsen on. I think Lawrence has been great. He's been very funny. And yeah, I've been happy with the shows. I've been enjoying doing them. Also, I'm always terrified of tech problems. We have our new producer, Mr. Middlewave, who's been steadying the ship. So overall, I think things have been going pretty well. I'm a little stressed out, or not stressed out, but there's a lot of stuff to do because, as you know, we had a last-minute departure from the broadcast for understandable reasons. But yeah, that, of course, meant we have to do a lot of regrouping and finding people on the spot and so on. So I've been busy, but so far, so good. Fairly happy with it. Sorry about this game, Der Knipser. Of course, that escalated quickly. But it's an important theme that if you're a boring guy like me, you play these knight f3, c4, g3 things, it's not so easy for black to play the stone wall, because then you might run into this d3, e4 plan, which is fairly nasty if white has not committed a pawn to d4 yet. Alright, I really love Play Me in the chat. Normally I don't give those preferential treatment because I'm assuming that everyone who challenged me wants to play. So I'll just, you know, click on names. I, as usual, give some preference to guys I haven't played before, but it is a fairly random selection process here. Let's play a Stone Cold Moron. Jawbreaker saying Lawrence has been much better than last time he did commentary. I don't know, I always, and this is not because I'm working with him, I always thought highly of Lawrence as a commentator. I have a feeling, but this, once again, could be my impressions, that it's good for both him and me if there's more people involved than just him and me. Even though with the candidates, I think we're pretty focused either way. But we have a tendency to get off topic because we both enjoy talking nonsense so much. So if there's more people keeping it more chessy, I think that could help, because then it's more like comic relief and not the whole show is comic relief, which I understand annoys some people. But also with the candidates, so much at stake, and the chess has been so good that there's really no particular reason to go off topic. So yeah, I think things have been going well, but obviously I'm in my basement bubble here, and there's a lot of stuff out there I don't see or notice, so no clue. Bishop c5, bishop f4. As for the position here, I think it's pretty good. After this h4, c5 is an old pet line of mine, which I only play in Blitz, or I've played it in a tournament game, but even then I didn't think it was very good, because, I don't know, if you switch on your computer here after bishop b5, I believe, it will just not allow you to equalize with black. Knight f3, I'm always happy to see, because now my bishop can no longer get trapped. Now there's no g4 topics, the bishop always has a square here. So the way this went, I believe I already have a pleasant position, and I can start thinking about direct measures like queen b6, which is very greedy, of course. I could also just, play positionally knight e7, bishop g4, but if there is a greedy option. What do you think? Yeah, there's a lot of input on the lineup so far, what I'm reading. Sounds positive. Lightless saying, loved Ali Reza too. Nice kid with lightning fast brain. Yeah, he sees stuff so quickly. That's, yeah, pretty impressive. He's playing today at 6 p.m. Le Banter. And people are missing Peter Svidler, and so are we. He's in Yekaterinburg working with Kirill Alexeyenko, but he has called in, and I do believe that we will see Peter again tomorrow. I feel a bit bad because I know how it is if you're working as a second, about bothering him too much about show appearances. I think he likes it, but also he's probably working long hours, and then during the games is the one time you can rest, so I can't overdo it. But I do think he'll be calling in with us again tomorrow, letting us know what is going on the ground there in Yekaterinburg. Lena Zero is saying, you're not on Twitch. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Sorry, there was an issue. Or it was my stupidity as usual. There was an issue for me. This restream we're normally using to stream to all the sites didn't work. So I had to come up with a backup plan, and I'm only streaming to YouTube. Jawbreaker saying, also amazing how relaxed Magnus is compared to his post-game interviews. Yeah, it's a different situation, of course. First of all, he's not playing a tournament. And secondly, I think, well, he's known Lawrence and me for a long time, so it's, of course, a little different than talking to someone you're not that familiar with after a game. But I agree, he's been fantastic. And, well, I've been around him, so I know how fast he is. Not just as a chess player, but also with his sense of humor and how witty. So I'm a little gun-shy around him sometimes, like about how pushy or edgy I want to get, but it's just such a privilege to have him there that that's not a big problem to have. What should I do? A6? Champ is saying, Jan, would you sign a job as a second for Anish if he asked you? Everything else not considered? Of course I'd love to hang out more with my boy Anish. And technically you could say I have, no? I am still the bonds coach, that's not the official title, but the Dutch captain of the national team, which in a way is being a second for Anish. But of course, it's also not a secret that I have been on Team Magnus for the last 2 matches, and I think that's, well, for a nerd like me, an opening nerd like me, the greatest job or task there is out there in the chess world. And you can't really work for too many top players, therefore I have no idea what's going to happen with the next match and if it's going to happen and all that, but you can't serve too many masters there, therefore it's tricky. But on a personal level, big fan of Guerino as well, as anybody who's watched the show will probably know. I think he's a great guy. And now that Magnus is finally officially rooting for him as well, it's nice that I don't have any conflict of interest. We can just root for Anish together. Cthulhu is saying, what could you do for Giri though? Yeah, that's also a fair point, because Giri, he's so good in the opening and he works so much alone that the better a theoretician you are and the more used you're working on your own stuff, the less you need guys like me, you could argue. Then again, you know, especially if you're at a tournament, no matter how good you are at openings, it's useful to have guys that click the buttons for you so you don't have to do it all by yourself. And there are many guys that are qualified at doing that. That's why often it comes down to not only pushing the buttons, but also to, you know, personal relationships, who you can hang out with, who you can practice your social distancing with, and so on. I think Anish, I probably shouldn't reveal, I'm not sure what's public information, but I do know what people he has with him in Yekaterinburg, and I think that's a great choice. Vina Win Bagor V402 saying, let's be honest, Magnus isn't actually rooting for Anish. Enough of this charade. You don't think so? You don't think Magnus wants to play the World Championship match against Anish? I think he's very genuinely rooting for Anish in the candidates. Ankush23 is saying, I've been practicing my social distancing my whole life. Yeah, it does come fairly natural to us chess players. No, we feel like we were born to distance. Good game here by Stone Cold Moron, by the way, who has not played like a Stone Cold Moron at all. I'll flag him, obviously, but he's played well, which is usually the spot I like best. I get the flag, you get the praise. Good game, Stone Cold Moron. Jawbreaker saying, I haven't seen a living soul in 1.5 weeks. No problem at all. Yeah. I haven't been out very much. I've seen Lawrence. One day I went to the office. Then, yeah, my girlfriend started coughing and I thought, okay, it's time that we all go into total lockdown mode. Unfortunately, I can do my stuff from home. I have this studio basement. But yeah, outside of my family, I haven't seen a lot of people the last 2 weeks either. Let's play another game against Ra Ishek. How's this system called again? It's the 150 attack, was it that? I get my names mixed up. My opening names. I used to have a book that was recommending this. What was it? I'm not sure. Some John M's opening book maybe. Obviously it's not exactly winning, but I used to try this in a game or two with not great results, I have to admit. C6, can you go H4 here? Or knight E5, play for H4? Doesn't look very impressive, but we have to justify the name, the 150 attack. Is that what it's called? Maybe it's not what it's called. Somehow. The Barry attack, that's what it's called. Is it? Yeah, I think the 150 is against the Pierts. This is the Barry. Yeah, you're right. Mr. Dodger is saying, if the 150 attack was called the 1800 attack, nobody would play it. Yeah, but people don't know that 150 means 1800 in whatever it's called. ECF ratings. What do I do here? F3. Yubaba will play F3. Ari93 is saying, isn't knight h5 annoying in these positions? Or is the bishop not that important? I'm not giving that bishop. Knight h5, I'll go bishop g5, or maybe bishop e5. It's not so easy to get that bishop, I would guess. Queen b6, rook b1 is maybe not very much in the spirit of the 150 attack, but it's very much in the spirit of Jan liking his pawns. C5 is playing well too. Why is everybody playing well? It's so upsetting. Okay, let's have a little fun. This move can't be very good, but hashtag YOLO. These are tough times we're living in. It's a 3-minute game, so I should speed up. Not much, but I should not lose sight of the clock. A5. I guess G5, no? Let's go pawn chasing. El Bucanero saying, I guess from the book Killer Chess Opening Repertoire from Aaron Summerscale. Could be, I honestly can't recall, but it could be. I had one book that I think covered both of these, which is also why I'm confusing them. The 150 and the Barry attack. Maybe it was that, yeah. I can't remember. Like, probably late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere there. Can I go GF and win a piece? Could be, no? He's blitzing out knight f3 as if he had expected that, but that don't impress me much. Ankush wants to know, should we challenge with 5-0 or 3-0? Up to you. I accept both. Generally for the show, I think I slightly prefer 5-0 because it gives me more time to talk about movies and whatnot. But I'm good either way. I don't have a strong preference. Nothing wrong with knight c7, but might as well. This is the end. Great movie, by the way. And Ra Ishek. Spanish, so is it Isheks? Does resign. Thanks for the game, sir. Let's play background of chess. I have a background of chess 24 logos. Oops, sorry. Here we go. Background of chess. He's still there. Ah, so you're saying that since I'm white, I should make the first move? I've never been good at making the first move. And I was young in the pre-Tinder days, so this has been a real problem going on. Whew. Background of chess does go bishop takes f3. I have some experience with this line and similar lines where black can choose between playing e5, bishop e7, keeping this bishop, or giving it on f3. Generally, I strongly believe white is better at these positions with the bishops and being able to grab space with f4, d5 later in the center. So I never liked these lines for black very much. If black could get in like c6, d5, it would maybe be okay, but that's very hard to do. And e5 and exchanging on d4 doesn't really free black's position much either, because I'll still go castles f4. I think white just is a comfortable edge on these. Do I have a comfortable coffee? I do. E takes d4, queen takes d4. I want to go castles f4, then probably b3, bishop b2. It doesn't want me to castle, but bishop e3 is not weakening my position much, so I'm not quite sure. I understand the point of queen e7 check. Just looks like a loss of time. He can't castle queenside because a7 is hanging. c5 would just be very weakening positionally. So no, don't get that. Knight b6, still no threat, no? I'll just castle, try to put a rook on e1 ASAP. And this does not look very healthy. Probably play c5, queen d3, maybe d5. Maybe I should have started with f4, not a4. But okay, it all looks very, very good for me. I want to keep the queens. My attack looks much more powerful. Now let me figure out how to proceed here. Knight c5, going for tactics. I could just grab a piece, which is, you know, not the sexiest solution. It's of course the easiest. I will resist for once, even though if this was a serious game, I would have blitzed out fe, ef, take the piece. Somehow, I want to try to checkmate once in my life. Clive and G37 is saying, Jan, what else should I give that Lawrence becomes Ali Reza's manager by the end of the year? I don't know. I doubt it. I strongly doubt it. Nah, it's not gonna happen. Boobneth Chess is saying, what do you think, Jan, after your 4 series on 1d4 Hammer has covered in one separate? Which do you prefer and why? I have not seen Hammer series, but I think he does good work. I've heard only good things, both about his white series and his black series. I think it's just how much time you want to spend on chess. Obviously, my series go into much more detail because it's just more lines, more videos, more hours, and so on and so forth. So it depends maybe on your level and also on your hunger for chess openings. If you want a one place fits all like Hammer gives a repertoire against both e4 and d4 in one series, or if you want to sit through 4 different series of mine dealing with the Catalan, the Vienna, the Trompovsky, and the sidelines and the Nimzo. Same thing about my series on Chessable against e4. It's a complete repertoire, e4, e5, but it's still lots and lots of lines. I think 30 hours of video and so on. So I fully understand not everyone has time or appetite for these amounts of chess theory. Therefore, I don't think it's a better or worse thing. Okay, I do think. No, but yeah, it's mainly a question of the audience and of your own approach. Jawbreaker is saying, Firo can always hire and fire Lawrence. Work great for Fabi. Yeah. Checkmate. Thanks for the game background of chess. Let's play RE93. Ari Gold from the Netherlands. What's going on in the Netherlands? How are my Dutch friends? You guys are isolated at home. You started with a bit of a different strategy regarding this corona thing. I go for quicker herd immunity. I'm not an expert on these things at all. Of course, I read a lot. But yeah, is that what happened in the Netherlands? But you change course, yeah? We are playing the Italian here. Against RE93. And let's have a little fun. One time. D3, of course, is the main move. And rightly the main move. This is a gambit line that I've faced mainly with black. It's not very convincing. After d6, fe, de, bishop g5. What was it? Was that the position where you play rook g8? Probably not. There was some position where you play rook g8, which I played recently. But I can't quite recall where it was. Was it here? I can't remember. There's some position where rook g8 was clever, anticipating bishop f6. I doubt it was here. But maybe it was. PSV 1988 is saying, we're allowed to go out. I'm assuming he's from Holland, judging by that username. I was queen e7 and then some move and then rook g8. Is that right? Maybe this move. h6. That looks like I should take, no? No, c3. Not sure. I'm not an experienced gambitier, so all of this feels very alien to me, to be honest. But I'm trying to regain my pawn. I think these positions with the rook on g8 instead of the pawn on h6 are just huge for black, because some bishop g4 is there, or bishop h3. Therefore, with the pawn on h6, I'm not sure what he did is as good, and that's why rook g8 is a great move. Knight g6, I'll take. And all of a sudden, Ari is in trouble. Rook f1, bishop h3, bishop f7. Which one is it? Could also go for the direct bishop f7 or knight b5. So many options. Maybe knight b5 is the most annoying. k7, rook f1, bishop e6. Takes, rook g6. Yeah, that looks pretty promising. Ankush23 is saying, trying is the first step to failure, Jan. Couldn't agree more. Do or do not. There is no try. As Homer Simpson used to say. And Ari93 resigns. Yeah, knight b5 is nasty. Ari, for your next game. This move looks dumb, but it's pretty good. Rook g8. Anticipating all the stuff I did in the game, then the rook is much more useful on g8 than pawn on h6. I think a move like bishop d7, preparing long castles, is also perfectly fine. But I always had some sympathy for this rook g8 move, just because it looks so dumb. I'm not sure what modern engines say. In my days when I was checking this, rook g8, I think was considered very good. All right. More games of chess. Some non-premium challenges, so I can't accept those. Let's play Tinta Tarto, Women International Master. I don't think I've played a d4 yet today. Somehow I played a lot of knight f3, which I think is my default move in Blitz. But d4 I haven't done for a while. And if it's good enough for Fabi, it's good enough for me. This for f3. I think Sopico has a video series about this on Chess24. I gave c5, d5, b5 in my black repertoire, which I still think works. But recently they started playing this line. Vichy played this d5, a3, bishop e7, e4, d, e, f, e, c5. That was Karana against Alexeyenko in this recent. What was the move here? e5 is the main line, but knight h3 was an option too, if memory serves correctly. I think I actually know this. I don't have to think that I gave bc, bishop c4, knight d5 here. This trick, if ed, queen h4 check, picking up the bishop on c4. And then continue with like bishop d5, ed, queen d5. And, you know, weird positions with equality. Clive G37 is saying, she's 2200 plus, Jan, be careful. Thanks for the warning. I'm 2200 plus too. I'll be focused. She probably was expecting e5, f4, which is the main line. Knight h3. Looks a little random, but this square is very nice for the knight. In many of these Benoni-esque structures, the f2 square. Of course, it could go to f4 in some circumstances as well. And yeah, I think the critical line was this takes and knight takes d5 business. Go. Took a while. Not implying anything. I'm just noting that it took a while. Bishop g5 or bishop f4. Was this the position? Maybe they didn't go knight c6, but queen b6. Memory. Bishop b7. Should I go here? Looks like an obvious cramping attempt. Krampus. Have you guys heard of Krampus? There was a movie some years ago, right? Because I'd never heard of it, apparently. It's a common Austrian, I'm assuming fictional character that comes after kids on Christmas if they have not behaved. Is that the Krampus narrative? Sorry, I might be very wrong on all this. Queen h4 check is probably a good move. Because knight f2, then I forfeit the right to go. Aggressive with the horsey. And bishop g3, then queen f6, then I don't know. The whole operation feels a little misguided. So I'll go knight f2, but with a heavy heart. Tinta Tarta is asking, how's your repertoire against this? I can never remember a single thing I recommend. Just sad. Normally my notes are good because I can, you know, push buttons on computers, sometimes even evaluate a position, but mainly push buttons on computers. But then, to remember that stuff, if you're not much of an active player anymore, it's a very different skill set, which I no longer have very well. Fansa was saying Sharpie, opposite of Santa. But both go after kids, to be honest. Yeah, but that's an Austrian thing, this Krampus, right? Boobnath Chess is saying, I want to know what you have weared in your hand. Is it for safety? In a way, it's so I don't move my ring finger around too much because I broke it. And I should, you know, keep this for some more days. Then I can take it off. Knight a1. Speaking of take it off, I could take the knight off or the rook. My bishop is nice on d6 though. I'm not that desperate to get rid of it for a measly rook. Don't centralize mine. I spent too much time. What's going on here? Bishop a5. My position looks pretty winning. Maybe we will Julian Hodgson it up and try to include everyone to the party. Rook c1. Just quickly checking that this doesn't blunder some double attack like queen h6, but I have bishop f4. So probably not. Time to take some stuff. Or is it? Ugh, so many decisions. I don't really want to have to deal with c4 and even a hint of counterplay. Then again. Yeah, maybe I'll just block it physically. Because his bishop is not scarily active and my bishop is nice, so bishop c5 felt a little odd as well. Well, here I can just keep chipping away. Rook c6, now it's time to take this guy. I didn't want to do it earlier because of rook d8, but now that it hits both rooks, it does force resignation. Thanks for the game. Tinta Tarto. Small plugging break. What can we plug? 40% off code candidates 2020 if you become a Chess24 Premium member. It's a good time of the year to do it. It's a good day of the year to do it, because if you do it now, you can still challenge Ali Reza later today at 6 p.m. I think Sam Shanklin is also playing. Big lineup today. And what else is there? What do I have here? Banter Blitz with Jan Gustafsson. That should always be plugged. Best show in town. And my Chessable series, the E45 repertoire, is back in sale like Kate is on chessable.com/Jan. All right. Who are we playing? What about from Espia? What does that mean? From España? General BS is saying, Chess24 doing a great job covering the candidates. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I've been pleased with the shows thus far. It's been a lot of scrambling behind the scenes because, yeah, Kramnik decided he didn't want to get involved because of the decision of FIDE to go ahead with the tournament. Then, of course, there is the social distancing thing, which I am very much involved in by quarantining. Is it quarantining or quarantining? I keep getting wrong. Quarantining myself at home here with my family after my girlfriend. Sorry, having a bit of a cough. She's fine. But, you know, just staying safe. But yeah, of course, that undermined the plans because we were trying to bring everybody together in our Hamburg office, where currently, ironically, it's Lawrence Trent all alone in the office who lives in Berlin. So it's been strange times, but I think so far it's only been 3 rounds that it's been fun. And obviously the game changer for us is Magnus showing up. So Magnus, if you're watching, which you probably are, let's face it, thank you so much for, you know, saving the show. And it's been a great pleasure. By the way, do you have plans for tomorrow? You know, 12 to 3? D4G6 here by FMSPL. Gay Pawn is asking, why does Lawrence live in Berlin? I don't know. I hear it's a nice city. Capora Lorty is saying, what happened with Nigel Short? Nigel Short, yeah, he's scheduled to join from round 9 onwards. Of course, it's also unlikely he will join in the studio, but we expect to see him, like, remotely. Bateman47 is saying, quick story for you. I bought Experts Against the Sicilian at a bookstall. Nigel says on cover, it's a very good book. Nigel came up behind me as I was buying it and ridiculed the book. Wow. That sounds like a lot of contradictions. I thought it was a good book. That's a while ago, right? I learned a lot from Peter Heine Nielsen's, also friend of the show, was on the show. Magnus's head coach. His chapter on the Marozzi, this Knight C2 that he recommended, I've played for decades after that. Multani is saying, hey Jan, is it possible to visit the Chess24 Hamburg office in case I'm there? Once all the corona issues are over, of course that is. I was gonna say, I'm not sure when I'll be back there. In general, it's possible. There's not much going on there. It's, you know, I just sit in a basement there by myself, not unlike here. But yeah, let us know, and I'm sure some of the less misanthropic Chess24 staffers that sit on the floor above me, the programmers, the community managers, the guys that keep the site going, they will be happy to talk to you while I stare at a blank screen in the basement. But yeah, let's first make it all through this. Capo Orsini is saying, would you play a 1600 rating player? For sure, I don't discriminate by rating at all on this show. I slightly discriminate by who I haven't played yet, but that's the only criteria. H3 bishop e6. I'd like to go knight g5, but knight f4 bothers me. So, okay, go knight e4, bishop e5, but that looks risky. Bishop h6, maybe. Let's see. Master Gambit saying, what about new episode opening clinic? Yeah, I recorded one actually a while ago. I would guess, have to check. I guess it's not out yet, and we should release it maybe today. I don't know. I'll check, but there is one in the can. I'm not quite sure what the publishing plan is. But I did one. Luis Felipe HSR saying the new Chess 24 front page looks nice. Is there plans on updating the mobile app? There are people working on, I think, a new broadcasting app. It's out for Android already. But yeah, I'm aware that there are issues with the old Chess 24 mobile apps, even though I still use them a lot for watching games, and I still think they're a good tool for that. But yeah, there are a lot of plans on, making things bigger, better, and so on. A lot of stuff is happening in the group. I am not being very concrete because I don't know when what is coming out and so on. But there's certainly work being done on all these fronts. As for this game, I have not done very well, I think it's fair to say. I'm pawn down. His pawns are compromised, so I don't think I'm worse, really. But if he plays bishop f4, which he does, I do not think I'm better either. Capora Lorty is saying, I don't like the new front page. It's confusing. I don't like change. You have to get used to it. I haven't studied much yet. I'm such a creature of habit. Normally when I have my own Banter Blitz show, I just want to see it up there on the right corner and then click on open chat. And I can't do that. So I have to probably learn to scroll down or something, which is very frustrating. Should I go bishop b3, hint at some c4? Maybe. I'm hoping he panics and goes c5, after which I can strike with rook e6. No, he doesn't panic. Upsetting. c4, knight f6, c5, knight e4, cd, knight d6. Nothing. It's a hard knock life. Rook e5, so that after c4, knight f6 does not attack my rook, and I can follow up with c5. Let's hope that genius plan works, because he has knight f4 now, so I'm not sure if I'm doing things sensibly at all here. Sorry for the nose touching. I'm trying to limit it. I've been pretty good at washing my hands, not touching my face that much, but it does happen sometimes. Don't do it. Cthulhu is asking, do you automatically become a GM by winning the World Senior Championship? You do. Many guys are planning on that. I don't have anything here. c4, c5 in a way. Make life easier from Espia. Gonna be tough to win this game. I'll gamble and be worse. Maybe I should try to make good moves. Nah. Bishop e6 and I'm just fighting for a draw. It's not a very tempting proposition. So I'll be worse and fight for hopefully more than one result. No, not really. Knight d3. It's still pretty impossible to win. Take your time. So knight d3, bishop e6, king f6, bishop d7. Knight e5, threatening a check on f3. It's actually pretty bad news. Yeah, that would not be great. Do you have any trick? Don't see it. So I'll play this with a heavy, heavy heart. And try to scramble from this position. FM Espia playing well. Time for some counterplay. I want to go bishop b7, but he's king e6. I don't know if he's seen that, but I don't want to risk it. Bishop g4, h5. Who knows? No time. Run! Run, pony! Run! You're my last hope. Okay, my position looks better than it used to. Speed up a bit. Thanks for the game, sir. That was a close one. Belouf is saying, I just managed to get a premium membership despite the bank's lockdown in Lebanon. Congratulations, I guess. Like, sorry to hear about the situation in the Lebanon. And yeah, I hope the premium membership entertains you and or helps you improve your chess while we are, I guess, globally sitting through these unprecedented times. Okay, I'll play 2 more games and then be donezo. The action continues here. I think at 4 p.m. Sam Shanklin is playing 4 p.m. my time, so in like half an hour. And after that, it's Ali Reza at 6 p.m. Let me play against Martin Van Latem. How about the dragon? Haven't played the dragon in like 10 years. Because you don't really want to unleash the dragon. But every 10 years should throw 1 dragon game in there. Those are the rules. How did this line go? Looks bad for black. Let's be honest. I think bishop takes e6 was maybe not the main move. I will just make moves. Is 95 a threat? I guess not. I'll pretend like 94 is a threat. I'm not sure if it really is, but can't hurt pretending. I guess it is a threat. Now that I thought about it. Knight takes e4 is a threat. Knight e2. That does parry my threat. Pity. Do I want to exchange queens or not? I guess I do in general, no? Because I would guess my king is weaker, like boring chess, quote-unquote, logic, then it makes sense to exchange queens. Not sure if that applies. I would also guess I want to take the pawn. Do I look a little dark? I tried this candidate show background. Not sure if it makes me too dark. Maybe the colors don't fit that well. The green and the blue. I'll think about it. Think about colors. Martin, where you at? He goes b3, but that just delays the problem, no? The problem being that he can't save the pawn. Yeah, this has gone well for me. Knight b5 does not help Martin's chances, but the position was pretty bad already. Pretty bad, as John Hamm would say. And therefore, Martin resigns. Thanks for the game, Martin. Let's play Saxon chess. Last game du jour against sex and chess, which I believe is a rare combination of hobbies. d4, g6, I will go here. Knight bd2 I used to play when I was a young man. I felt very smart. Nowadays they do stuff like that, no? And we no longer mock them for doing ridiculous stuff, because this kind of structure has become more socially acceptable because of all these Caracans with knight f6. Looks nice for me either way, though. That's just giving me a pawn. He has queen e2 in the end with some counterplay, but not a whole lot. b7 is also hanging, covering b2 at the same time. So maybe king f1 to bring my rook to e1. Cover e2. Why not? Where does the queen go? Down in Santo Domingo. e7 looks a bit silly. Maybe just f3 like a normal person. He's gonna blitz out queen b5, but I will counter blitz queen e2. And we both got what we wanted. Oh no, I disconnected. Not now. Come on. Ooh, made it back. That was close. Manu Swag is saying, if you're randomly playing Blitz at home, do you miss the chat sometimes, Jan? What do you mean? Do I... if I'm just playing Blitz without playing Banter Blitz? First of all, that doesn't happen that often. I should do it more often, but I don't do it that often because, you know, I'm a very busy man. But no, because I'm so busy with self-hatred normally. It's a different discipline, this playing Blitz without talking to you guys. So no, I don't miss the chat, but of course I do look forward to these Banter Blitz shows, and not just to make moves on the board, but mainly to hang out, talk some nonsense in these weird socially distant times of ours. You guys and my Facebook chat groups are my social life. It's pretty sad, but true. Maybe it's not that sad. Those are the times we live in. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for Sam Shankland and for Ali Reza Firuja. Big day of Banter Blitz here. Of course, tomorrow we continue with round number 4 of the candidates, where, of course, Lawrence Trent and I will be here. Peter Svidler will join us as a guest from Yekaterinburg. And I quite like our chances of a certain Magnus Carlsen appearing as well. That's not fully confirmed yet. So, no promises, but I do think he's gonna show up. That's it for today. If you are hungry for more Blitz, as mentioned, just stick around. In the meantime, consider becoming a Chess24 Pre-member. Sorry, I have to organize my files here. With the voucher code Candidates2020, you get 40% off. You can get access to all the video series by Jan Gustafsson, Magnus Carlsen, Peter Svidler, Lawrence Trent, Visciano, many others. You can challenge in all these Banter Blitzes and play against the likes of Magnus, Ali Reza, Sam Shankland, and so on and so forth. If you need to see more of me and more of chess theory in these difficult times, and Chess24 Jan is not enough for you, I did this E4, E5 complete repertoire on Chessable, which is back on sale, so you can check that out as well. Thanks for watching. Have fun with Sam, with Ali Reza, and everyone else. If not, see you tomorrow at noon. Bye. Noon my time. I don't know what your time is. If you don't know what my time is, I don't know how we can meet. Maybe at the start of the candidates. That's something we can all agree. Bye. Also, fill out your fantasy bracket.